Hello and good evening, everyone, and welcome to another live stream here on my live stream pages here on YouTube at Sports Bonanza John, also on Kick at Sports Kick John. Going to get set for some college football on this Saturday night. The featured game I'm going to be doing tonight is Alabama-Auburn, but it's going to be like an NFL red zone style game. That's going to be the featured game, but I'm also going to jump in on games with playoff implications: Virginia Tech, Virginia, SMU, Cal, Charlotte, Tulane. But the featured game to focus on will be Alabama-Auburn. Before we begin, let's start off with a prayer. Lord Jesus, thank you for this day, and thank you for doing everything you do for us, Lord. And please look over all these players and fans. Please keep everyone safe in this game tonight, and do your will among all of us, Lord. As I ask and pray this in Jesus' name, amen. All right, Iron Bowl, Alabama and Auburn. Alabama, with a win, is headed to the SEC championship game. Georgia's already knowing they're going to the SEC championship game. If Alabama wins this game, it will be them facing Georgia next week in the SEC championship game. And Alabama loss tonight would send Ole Miss to the SEC championship game against Georgia. And Ole Miss, we're still waiting for the news on Lane Kiffin, what his decision's going to be. Will he stay at Ole Miss? Will he go to LSU? Is there another school in play somewhere? Still waiting for the news on him. So Alabama, not only are they fighting for a berth in the SEC championship game tonight, they are also fighting for a spot in the college football playoff. A loss here, and you can pretty much guarantee that's going to knock Alabama out, as they're already on that bubble spot right now at number 10. Auburn, meanwhile, coming in, needing a win to get bowl eligible. They come in at 5-6, and they would love nothing more than to qualify for a bowl and knock their big rival out, more than likely, of the college football playoff. Alabama, coming into this game, could have used a BYU loss today to UCF. That did not happen. But Alabama just needing to take care of business in the Iron Bowl tonight, as they are set to take on the Auburn Tigers. Again, for anybody that just tuned in and missed my announcement at the very beginning of the live stream, Alabama-Auburn is going to be the featured game I do on the live stream tonight. But I'm going to do like a similar to an NFL red zone type thing. Obviously, I can't show the games because of copyright restrictions, but it's going to be like a red zone style. Alabama-Auburn will be the featured game, but I'm also going to jump to other games that have playoff implications. Virginia Tech, Virginia, that's underway. Charlotte, Tulane, that's underway. SMU, Cal, getting set to kick off at the top of the hour. So all those three games have college football playoff, plus the two, the Virginia Tech, Virginia, and the SMU Cal game have ACC championship game implications as well. So I'm going to, during a break in this game, I'm going to jump to action for the other games, keep you updated what's going on and in those other games right now. At the end of the first quarter, Virginia leads Virginia Tech 7-0, a Virginia win, and they will clinch a spot in the ACC championship game. Same situation for number 21, SMU. They kick off at the top of the hour in Berkeley against Cal. And SMU win, they are in the ACC championship game. A loss by either one of those teams opens up the door for a couple of other teams. Also a team in college football playoff talk is number 24, Tulane, and they lead Charlotte 7-0 after one. Tulane fighting for a spot in the American Athletic Championship game. More than likely, as it stands right now, the winner of that American Athletic Championship game will be the Group of Five representative in the college football playoff. But you got James Madison hovering out there in the Sun Belt. James Madison won big today over Coastal Carolina to keep their college football playoff hopes alive. So we'll see what happens, as we had Miami, who was on the bubble, winning earlier today. Oklahoma barely got by LSU to keep their playoff hopes alive, probably clinched a spot for Oklahoma. So there is still a lot to be decided here. as we get down to the end of the regular season here tonight, and then conference championship weekend coming up next weekend on Friday and Saturday nights. Friday and Saturday afternoon and Saturday night. I will be on the live stream for conference championship games next Friday and Saturday. But Alabama and Auburn, the Iron Bowl. Jordan-Hare Stadium in Auburn. Again, Auburn needing a win to get bowl eligible. Alabama with a win is in the SEC championship game. Plus, this would keep their college football playoff hopes alive. And Alabama lost here tonight, and probably more than likely you can kiss the playoff goodbye for Alabama. As they are in the number 10 spot right now. They are on that very bubble spot right now as it is. So we are just about set to go at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Alabama and Auburn. Boy, they had some rivalry games and Iron Bowl games over the years, these two teams. On a packed house, as is expected, on a Saturday night in Auburn, Alabama. Much better weather down there in Auburn, Alabama than having here in the Midwest today. 52 degrees at kickoff at Jordan-Hare Stadium. One of the best pregame intros taking place right now at Jordan-Hare Stadium. And again, this is going to be a jump around night as do the Alabama-Auburn game, but also going to jump around to other action with playoff and championship game implications. And number 9, Notre Dame, they're in the college football playoff talk as well. They kick off at 10:30 Eastern out west at Stanford. So can't forget about them either. That's way too late of a game I'm not going to be able to jump to that one after this one. That kicks off way too late. We got Tulane in action right now, leading 7-0. Tulane with the win is in the American Athletic Championship game. North Texas is already there. Virginia leading 7-0. They're in the ACC Championship game with a win tonight. SMU at Cal. They're in the ACC Championship with a win tonight. So jump to those other 3 games as well as do this game here tonight. So we are just about set to go. Alabama is going to receive to open this football game. And the Iron Bowl 2025 is underway. Kickoff taken at the 5-yard line, across the 10, 15, 20-yard line. And a good return, 25, and out of bounds around the 30-yard line. Good return on the kickoff. And that's where Ty Simpson and Alabama will start their opening drive of this game. Ty Simpson, 22 touchdowns, 4 interceptions on the season. Crimson Tide will start first down and 10 at the 30. Simpson takes the first offensive snap of the game. And he's going to throw it on the first play. Simpson looking downfield and incomplete. Jeremy Bernard was down there with the intended receiver, but he was covered well at second down and 10. Second down and 10, football sitting right at the 30. And Simpson will hand it off on second down, and this will be a gain and out of bounds at the 38-yard line. That'll be a gain of 8 yards. We do have a flag on the play. Matt Leffler, our referee tonight with this SEC officiating crew. It's going to be a hold on the Tide, so nullify that 8-yard run. That will make it 2nd and 20. Back at the 20. I believe it was Bernard that got called for the hold. So we'll be 2nd and 20 for the Tide, back at the 20-yard line. Actually call it 2nd and 19 at the 21, being a spot foul. Simpson looks like he's changing the play. Man in motion here. Simpson takes the snap. Simpson looking, nowhere to throw. Now throws a right side screen pass, and that's going to go next to nowhere. Well, it ends up about a 3-yard gain. Now another flag comes in. Kevin Riley, the receptor of the screen pass, will check out this flag. If this is a hold on Alabama, which it is a face mask on Auburn, so that'll be an automatic first down. And pretty clear on the replay, the graphs of the face mask. So Auburn gifts Alabama a first down. Ball moved up to the 40-yard line. Simpson takes the snap. Simpson looks. Now rolling to his left. Simpson throws, incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Bernard, the intended receiver. Second and 10 for Alabama. Football at the 40. Simpson on second down throws complete to Bernard, and Bernard up to the 47-yard line, gain of 7, setting up a 3rd down and 3 for the Crimson Tide. Tide hurrying up to the line. On 3rd and 3 at the 47. Bernard in motion. Simpson takes the snap. Simpson looking to throw. Simpson looking downfield, throws it deep down the field, out of the reach and incomplete. He was looking for Bernard downfield, but it's 4th down, and the Crimson Tide will have to punt on their first possession. Bernard had his defender beat there, but the throw was a little bit too far out of his reach. So Auburn forces an Alabama punt. That 15-yard penalty does not hurt them. Fair catch at the 15-yard line, and we will see the Auburn offense for the first time tonight. Almost 2 minutes old in this game. While we have a moment, like I said, going to be switching to other games with postseason aspiration, with postseason implications as well. Updating this Virginia Tech Virginia game. Still a 7-0 lead for Virginia. Virginia with the win heads to the ACC championship game. Virginia is going to be whistled for a false start, so that game is still 7-0. And Tulane looking to punch their ticket to the American championship game. They now lead 14-0. That game's in a commercial timeout. And here we will get set to see the Auburn offense for the first time tonight, with 13:03 to play in the first quarter. We do have another game going on right now involving a ranked team, but there's realistically no college football playoff implications at stake here. USC and USC. USC leading 7-0. USC's too far down in the rankings. They're 17th, and they're not playing for the Big Ten title. So realistically, there's no playoff implications in that game. And earlier today, Ohio State finally got that Michigan monkey off their back after losing to them 4 consecutive times. Ohio State finally able to beat Michigan, and convincingly in Ann Arbor, 27-9 the final score. So we've got a number 1 versus number 2 matchup in the Big Ten championship game next week. 2 12-0 teams, Ohio State and Indiana. And without a doubt, obviously, the winner of that game will go into the college football playoff number 1. Again, in the 12-team college football playoff, the top 4 get a first-round bye. Seeds 5 through 8 host first-round home games. That hosting's got to go, but that's another story for another day. Figure in the next rankings, Georgia will probably move up to number 3, as Georgia, with the Texas A&M loss last night, is headed to the SEC championship game. So here we go. Ashton Daniels at quarterback for Auburn, and he's going to keep it on first down and get a nice run of 4 yards on the quarterback keeper here up to the 19-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Daniels being pressured. Daniels slips down at the 14-yard line. Just kind of went down on his own right there. I don't know if he slipped or just went down on his own right there, but it was James Smith that applied the pressure. 3rd down, 11, back at the 14. Daniels out of shotgun here. Daniels with the 3rd and 11 screen pass is batted down as Alabama was bringing the pressure. Keon Sabb, the defensive back that batted that pass down, and it's a 3-and-out for Auburn on their first drive of the game. So both teams with a punt on their opening drive. Fair catch here at the 46. So excellent field position for Alabama for their second offensive series of the game. 11:48 to play in the first quarter. Back comes Ty Simpson out for his second series for the Alabama offense. Alabama missing out on the college football playoff a year ago. Looking to get there this time. It'll be a first down at the 46-yard line. And we've got movement, and the play will be stopped. Auburn jumped in the neutral zone, but were they drawn? Going to get the call here. Looks like it's going to be offsides against Auburn, and it is. So that'll make it 1st and 5 for Alabama. So on a penalty, the ball is moved into Auburn territory at the Auburn 49. Simpson takes the shotgun snap. It's a handoff on first down and a gain of only a yard as the give went to Daniel Hill. 2nd down and 4 coming up for Alabama. Second and 4 from the 48. Simpson looking to throw, now rolling left. Simpson throwing down the field off the hands, incomplete. Lotier Brooks, the intended receiver. 3rd down and 4 coming up for Alabama. Oh, that's one you got to catch. That hit Brooks right in the hands. Third and 4 from the 48 of Auburn. Simpson takes the snap. Simpson looking. Going left, throws to a receiver that's caught, but I think he's short of the 1st down. The catch was made by Daniel Hill right at the 1st down marker, but then he backtracked, and I don't think he made it back to the 1st down marker, and he didn't. He's short. 4th and 1. Oh, yeah, that ball never made the 44. So 4th and 1, Alabama's going to go for it. And Alabama's going to take a timeout as the play clock was down to 2. So Alabama takes their first timeout here in the first quarter. A 4th and 1 from the Auburn 45 following the timeout. 10:18 to go in a scoreless first quarter in the Iron Bowl. They have just kicked off in Berkeley between SMU and Cal. Just like Virginia, SMU with a win punches their ticket to the ACC championship game. Keep you updated on that game as well as Charlotte Tulane. Tulane up 14-0 and Virginia Tech. Virginia up 7-0. It'll be a 4th and 1 for Alabama once play resumes out of the timeout. And let's take a look at some other scores from across the country while we have a timeout. Also going on out in Los Angeles, number 17 USC leads UCLA 7-0. Told you Ohio State beating Michigan for the first time in 5 tries, 27-9. Number 5 Texas Tech punched their ticket to the Big 12 title game. That was already decided before they took the field, though, and they walloped West Virginia 49-0. Number 6 Oregon wins at Washington 26-14 to more than likely punch the Ducks ticket to the college football playoff. Number 8 Oklahoma needed a late touchdown to get by LSU 17-13. Number 11, BYU, again, before this game, they already knew they were headed to the Big 12 title game, but they come back and beat UCF 41-21. So Texas Tech and BYU set for the Big 12 title game. Texas Tech handled them pretty handily in the regular season matchup. Number 12, Miami had to have a win over number 22, Pitt today, and they got it 38-7. Keep their playoff hopes alive. Number 14, Vanderbilt, 45-24 win at Tennessee. Vanderbilt keeping their playoff hopes alive. Diego Pavia probably punched his ticket to New York City as a finalist for the Heisman. So we are just about set for this 4th and 1 play for Alabama at the Auburn 45. Simpson and the Alabama offense going for it. Simpson now coming back up to the line under center. He was lined up in shotgun. And it's going to be a direct snap and a first down for Alabama on 4th and 1. That will move the sticks for the Crimson Tide. A 4th down conversion to keep the drive alive. First down at the 43. Simpson back to shotgun. And it's going to be a handoff here on first down. And a good run on first down of 8 yards up to the 35-yard line. Jam Miller getting the carry for the 8-yard pickup. Second down and 2. Simpson. Now we'll take the snap. And it's another handoff, and this will be an Alabama first down inside the 35 up to the 32. That's Jam Miller picking up 4 more. First down, Crimson Tide at the 32. And another handoff to Miller for the 3rd straight time, and Miller picks up about 5 more as he marches down to the 27 of Auburn, bringing up second down and 5. Good drive being put together here for Alabama. Second and 5. Simpson takes the snap. Auburn bringing the pressure. Simpson gets rid of it and goes to the sideline out of bounds, incomplete. He had to get rid of that as there was big pressure being put on him. K'Ron Crawford applied the pressure for Auburn and forced Simpson to have to throw that ball. It's third down. Third and 5 for the Tide. Looks like Auburn might be bringing the blitz again. Play clock down to 4. Alabama doesn't look like they're in sequence here, and they have to take another timeout. They looked way out of sequence right there. And Alabama takes their second timeout in the first quarter, which we are midway through. So Alabama down to one timeout here in the first half. So it's going to be third down and 5 for the Crimson Tide. Crowd roaring at Jordan Hare. Alabama still doesn't look like they're on the same page here. 5 on the play clock. Simpson does take the snap this time. Simpson with time now being pressured and will throw it to the sideline out of bounds again. Incomplete. Crawford got to Simpson again, and a little bit of words being exchanged between the two as Simpson heads back to the Alabama sideline and a field goal attempt upcoming. That's the second time in as many plays that Crawford's applied big pressure to Simpson. And this will be a field goal attempt of 46 yards to get Alabama on the scoreboard first. So Connor Talty on to attempt a 46-yarder. Kick is up, and the kick is straight through, and Alabama gets a field goal out of it to get the first points of the night in the Iron Bowl. 3-0 Crimson Tide, midway point, first quarter. Drive for Alabama, 10 plays, 27 yards. 4 minutes, 19 seconds, resulting in a Connor Talty 46-yard field goal. Actually, they're officially putting it at 45 yards as the ball was kicked just shy of the 36-yard line, so it's a 45-yard field goal officially. And a 3-0 lead for Alabama. Taking a look at those other scores, keeping an eye on with college football playoff implications. Number 24, Tulane, still up 14-0 on Charlotte. Virginia has just put it in the end zone again, so Virginia now leads Virginia Tech 14-0. And 4.5 minutes old in that SMU-Cal game, no score between the Mustangs and the Golden Bears. SMU just entering the ACC last year, their second year in the ACC, but they're trying to get to the ACC championship for the second year in a row. They fell short in the ACC title game to Clemson a season ago. They want to get back there and finish it off this time. Of course, the new college football playoff rankings will come out Tuesday before conference championships next weekend. And then the 12-team college football playoff bracket will be announced a week from tomorrow. Keep going to the update page to see if there's any update on the Lane Kiffin news. So there's going to be a lot of debating probably this week with the College Football Playoff Committee, with Texas A&M losing last night. There's a lot of talk about Texas, if Texas is going to be able to get in the playoff now. 3 losses for them. I don't see it, but if they want any chance, they're probably going to have to have a BYU loss in the Big 12 title game for sure. That's a kickoff, and that's going to be down at the 11-yard line. Got a flag that gets thrown at the end of this play. Well, the kick returner for Auburn took that on a bounce. And he was dropped immediately. We'll see what this flag is. Got a personal foul on Alabama after the play, and Kalen DeBoer's none too happy. He is fired up and not happy on the Alabama sideline with that call. They got a personal foul after the play. I didn't see anything on the replay that looked of any kind of personal foul variety, and Kalen DeBoer agrees. He is livid on the Alabama sideline. First down for Auburn after that 15-yard penalty. They now have it at the 27. Throw behind the receiver, incomplete. Ashton Daniels had his receiver, Cam Coleman, get free from his defender, but threw it a little behind him. 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, pass and incomplete again. That time Daniels was looking for Jeremiah Cobb. It's 3rd down and 10. 3rd and 10 for Auburn. Football at the 27. Daniels out of the shotgun. Takes the snap. Daniels throws. Daniels' pass is incomplete. And for the 2nd straight drive for Auburn, they go 3 and out. Even if Cobb catches that pass, actually it wasn't Cobb it was intended for, it was I didn't catch who that was intended for, but nonetheless, even if the catch would have been made, it was going to be short of a 1st down. Fair catch at the 34-yard line off the punt, and Alabama will get their third possession of this game. Starting at their own 34-yard line with 7:07 to play in the opening quarter, Crimson Tide leading 3-0. So Auburn has done absolutely nothing with their first two drives. It has been 3 and out on both drives in this game so far. -7 yards on their first two drives. And now Alabama has it back, as Auburn had possession for 22 seconds on that drive. First down for the Tide at the 35. Simpson takes the snap. Simpson dropping back to throw. Simpson now rolling right, almost intercepted. That was a near pick by Bryce Diaz. I don't think Simpson even saw the defender Diaz there. Second down and 10. Football at the 35. Simpson. Now it's a handoff, and this is going to be a minimal gain of only a couple yards, as Jam Miller with the carry, and it'll be third down about 8 for Alabama. And here comes Jordan-Hare Stadium again. Third down and 9 officially at the 36. Alabama 0 for 3 on third down conversion so far. Simpson, here comes the blitz. Simpson gets rid of it, overshoots everybody, incomplete. And it'll be a 3 and out for Alabama. Kalen DeBauer not happy again on the Alabama sideline. I don't know if he thought there was some kind of interference there. There was a little bit of a hold, but there's no way on earth that ball was catchable. And here's a punt. And it takes a big Alabama bounce inside the 20 and is down to around the 17, 18-yard line. So Auburn will be backed up inside their 20 for their third drive of the game. Their first two drives have been 3 and out, with 6:04 to play in the first quarter. Alabama leading 3-0. Ashton Daniels back out leading the Auburn offense. First down at the 18, and we've got movement all over the place on the line. It's going to be a false start on Auburn, so move it back to the 13-yard line. First and 15. And Daniels will keep it on the quarterback keeper, and he gets back near the original line of scrimmage. Gain of 5 for Ashton Daniels, bringing up second down and 10. Second and 10 for Auburn. Man in motion. Daniels takes the snap, rolling right, now throws to an open receiver, but that's going to be a gain of only a couple yards up to the 20-yard line. Bryce Kane with the reception. Third down and long once again for Auburn. 3rd and 8 at the 20. Daniels looking. Daniels throws, and it's dropped. That was an easy first down, and the pass was dropped by the tight end, Brandon Frazier. That hit Frazier right in the hands. You've got to convert those. That was right on the money and would have been a first down. Instead, Auburn goes 3 and out for the 3rd consecutive drive, and the punt will hit out of bounds around the 33-yard line. 35-yard line is where they mark it. And that's where Alabama will start this next drive. .456 to play in the opening quarter. So despite Auburn doing absolutely nothing on offense for their first 3 drives, defense has kept them in it here early, holding Alabama to just a field goal so far. First down, Alabama at the 35. And an Auburn player just came all the way across the line to Simpson before he'd even snapped the ball. That's going to be offsides. And it'll make it 1st and 5. Tried to time the snap count there, but obviously was way off. That was Xavier Atkins that came across for Auburn. 4th penalty of the quarter against the Tigers. 1st and 5 at the 40. Simpson fakes the handoff, now rolls left, throws, passes. Are they calling that a catch? There's good discussion here. Auburn saying he was juggling it. And is incomplete as the officials get together. The Auburn bench was adamant that the receiver was juggling that ball. That was Brooks. And he's got he's got it, but it's his foot out of bounds. When he gets possession of the ball, when he finally gets firm possession of the ball, which is right here, I think his foot's out of bounds. There was a controversial play similar to this in the Michigan-Ohio State game earlier today on a play that was ruled a touchdown, which I do not think was a touchdown. Probably wouldn't have made any difference the way that game went, but they are reviewing this play. The call on the field is an incomplete pass. I think the main question is, when does Lotsier Brooks get full possession of the ball? And this is a pretty quick review. And we're going to get the call here right now. And they have overturned it to a catch. So they're giving Lotsier Brooks credit for the catch. So they're saying he gained full possession of the ball prior to that right foot hitting out of bounds. So it's a catch up to the Auburn 45-yard line. So that's good for 15 yards. First down for the Crimson Tide. And here's a handoff on first down. And out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Gain of 5. Second and 5 at the 40. nearing the 4-minute mark in this first quarter. Simpson takes the snap, and it's another handoff. And up to the 38-yard line. Carry that time for Daniel Hill. It'll bring up 3rd down and 3 for Alabama. So Auburn looking for another defensive stand here on 3rd down and 3. Alabama so far 0 for 4 on 3rd down conversions, and also is this 4-down territory. Kind of in that no man's land area of the field, where it would be a very long field goal if they don't get another yard here. Direct snap, Simpson takes it himself, gets the 1st down and more. 30, 20, down the sideline, out of bounds. At the 12-yard line goes Ty Simpson. On 3rd and 3, Simpson takes it for 26. A big 3rd down gainer, the first 3rd down conversion for Alabama tonight. First down, Alabama at the 12 of Auburn. This is a direct snap to Hill. Hill gets tackled down at the 6. 6 more for Daniel Hill brings up 2nd down and 4 as Alabama's moved it inside the 10. Simpson under center this time. Fakes the handoff to Hill, rolling left. Simpson will take it himself again, but nowhere to go this time as he's runs out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 3rd down. There was nothing that developed downfield there, and Simpson realized it and just ran out of bounds at the 6. 3rd down and 4 for Alabama. Final minute and a half of this opening quarter. Simpson back into shotgun. Simpson, blitz coming. Simpson has to get rid of it. It's a touchdown. My goodness, I don't know how Simpson got rid of it in the first place and then found his receiver in the back of the end zone for an Alabama touchdown. Isaiah Horton with the 6-yard touchdown catch. Alabama in the end zone for the first time tonight. It was an all-out blitz by Auburn. Simpson somehow got rid of it and found his receiver Horton in the back of the end zone. Extra point is up and the kick is good. And Alabama takes a 10-0 lead with 1:14 remaining in this first quarter. Seven-play, 65-yard drive for the Tide that took 3 minutes, 42 seconds. And a Ty Simpson 6-yard touchdown pass to Isaiah Horton to extend the lead to 10-0. So Auburn, now in a 10-point hole, is going to have to find some offense here. As in this first quarter, Auburn has but a mere 6 yards of offense. Here's the kickoff. And taken at the 4-yard line across the 10, 20, 25-yard line, 30, and out of bounds at the 32. A decent kick return, and then I think there's going to be 15 added to it. I believe there's going to be a late hit and a late tackle out of bounds. Luke Metz with just a mistake you cannot make. The kick returner was way out of bounds, and the play was dead, and Luke Metz came in and threw a little extracurricular there, so that's going to move the ball up to the 47-yard line. Kalen DeBauer not happy again on the Alabama sideline. He hasn't been happy for a majority of this first quarter. So Auburn ball at the 47 thanks to that 15-yard personal foul. And this is a handoff on first down that's going to go for a couple of yards up to the 49-yard line. Jeremiah Cobb on the carry for Auburn. Auburn back up to the line quickly. Second down. Pass is going to be complete and into Alabama territory to the 46-yard line. Setting up third down and 3. Reception for Eric Singleton Jr. Third and 3 for Auburn. Final half minute of the first quarter. Here's a throw. Pass is caught at the 41. That's to Singleton Jr. again, and Auburn finally picks up their first down of this game. First down, Auburn at the 42. Daniels takes the snap. It's a handoff, and inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. And that play will take us to the end of the first quarter. A first quarter that sees Alabama lead Auburn 10-0, but Auburn driving for the first time tonight as they have moved the ball inside the Alabama 40. Auburn trying to finish off this drive when the second quarter commences. Look at the stats through the first quarter. Alabama outgained Auburn 95-20 on total yards. 6 first downs to 1. Auburn finally got their first down of the game. On this drive, 7 penalties called in that first quarter. 4 for 30 yards on Auburn, 3 for 40 yards for Alabama. A time of possession advantage for Alabama, 11 minutes to 4 minutes. As Auburn, until this drive here, had a 3 and out on each of their first 3 drives. Ty Simpson in that first quarter for Alabama, 5 for 13 for 35 yards and a touchdown pass. 5 completions to 5 different receivers. Isaiah Horton has the touchdown reception. Lozier Brooks, Jeremy Bernard, Jam Miller, and Daniel Hill with a catch apiece. Running the football, Ty Simpson, the Alabama quarterback, leading rusher, 3 carries, 27 yards. He had that 26-yard run on that one play that set up the touchdown drive. Jam Miller, 4 carries for 17 yards, 3 carries, 11 yards for Daniel Hill. 1 carry for 4 yards for Jeremy Bernard, and 1 carry for 3 yards for Lozier Brooks. For Auburn, meanwhile, Ashton Daniels, 3 for 8 for 12 yards in the first quarter. Eric Singleton, 2 catches for 10 yards. Bryce Kane, the other reception for Auburn. Jeremiah Cobb rushed twice for 4 yards. Ashton Daniels, 3 times for 4 yards. Just nothing in the offensive categories for Auburn, yet they only trail 10-0, and they're on the drive here. Their first promising drive of the game as they've moved the football inside the Alabama 40. That was aided by that 15-yard personal foul penalty on the kickoff. Updating those other scores that have been following. Tulane, number 24 in the country, still leading 14-0 over Charlotte. And the two teams trying to punch their ticket to the ACC championship game, just needing wins. Virginia up 14-0. That has reached the half over Virginia Tech. And number 21 SMU, 7-3 lead over Cal. End of the first quarter in Berkeley. SMU and Virginia, there's still 6 teams alive in the ACC to reach the ACC championship game. SMU and Virginia, the two that control their own destiny. SMU and Virginia both win, and they're in. SMU trying to make the ACC championship game for the second year in a row, and they've only been in the league for 2 years. Back here as we are set to begin this second quarter, Alabama leading 10-0, but Auburn has a 2nd and 7 at the Alabama 39. And Daniels on the quarterback keeper and gets up to the 35-yard line. That didn't look like it was going anywhere. But Daniels able to find some room up the middle and pick up 4 yards, setting up a manageable 3rd and 3. Daniels throws, pass, incomplete. Double coverage there for Alabama. Eric Singleton Jr., the intended receiver. Now what will Auburn do on 4th down? It's like they're leaving the offense out on the field. Fourth down for the Tigers. Football at the 36-yard line of Alabama. They need to get to the Alabama 32 for a first. And now Auburn's going to take a timeout. Make sure they're on the same page offensively, so that's their first timeout used here in the first half. Alabama had to use 2 in that first quarter. So we will see what Auburn does on 4th and about 3.5. 14:34 to play in the second quarter. Another score around college football. This realistically does not have any playoff implications, but it's still a rivalry game. UCLA has come back to tie up USC. That game's 7-7. Second quarter score out at the Coliseum in LA. USC's playoff hopes pretty much ended last week with their loss at Oregon. So looking ahead to next week, we know 2 of the conference title games right now. In the Big 12 championship game, it will be BYU and Texas Tech. Texas Tech handled BYU pretty handily in the regular season matchup a few weeks ago. And in the Big 10 title game, it will be number 1 versus number 2, Ohio State and Indiana, for the Big 10 championship. Without a doubt, the winner of that game will go into the college football playoff number 1. In that Big 12 title game, if Texas Tech is able to beat BYU for a second time, that probably will mean Texas Tech will get a first-round bye. They came in at number 5 this week, and with number 3 Texas A&M losing last night, you figure Georgia and Texas Tech will move up. Texas Tech with a dominant win over West Virginia today. Georgia, a hard-fought win over Georgia Tech yesterday. Still a lot to be decided. We will know the ACC championship game before the end of the night tonight, as will we the SEC championship game. We already know Georgia's in there. If Alabama wins this game, it will be Georgia and Alabama. If Auburn would come back and win this, it will be Georgia and Ole Miss in the SEC title game. So back here we go as Auburn has a 4th down and 4 with the football sitting and just inside the Alabama 36. And again, they are leaving the offense out, so they're going to go for it. Daniels. And the throw, that is dropped again. That is about the 3rd drop by an Auburn receiver tonight. And it's a turnover on downs, giving it back to Alabama. Again, Alabama defender did get his hand in there at the last minute, but that still looks like a very catchable ball for Singleton. So Alabama takes over at their own 36. Simpson on 1st down drops back, throws a short pass, and it's going to be a pretty good gainer and out of bounds after a 9-yard gain to Jam Miller up to the 45-yard line. Mark it at the 44, so mark it an 8-yard gain, 2nd down and 2. And a handoff. This goes to Miller. This will be a 1st down and more. Jam Miller down the left side and out of bounds at the 38-yard line. Jam Miller picks up 18 on 2nd down and 2. $37 yards rushing on 5 carries for Jam Miller now. Simpson takes the snap. And another handoff to Miller again. Miller inside the 30, 20-yard line and down at the 19. Just tripped up. Jam Miller goes for 17 more. Alabama nearing the 100-yard rushing mark. And again, it's a handoff to Miller. And Miller able to get to the 15-yard line, gain of 4 more for Jam Miller. He's coming to the sideline for a quick breather here. Second down and 7. Simpson throws right side, open receiver. 1st down, Alabama inside the 5 and to the 3-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the Crimson Tide. Reception for Lozier Brooks. First and goal at the 3. And a injured Auburn player on the field. Looks like the injured Auburn player was Kayron Crawford, senior defensive end out of Memphis. Well, he just dropped right when he was coming up to the line defensively. Does make it to the sideline. So 1st and goal, Alabama at the 3. Timeout called by Auburn, so both teams down to 1 timeout here in the second quarter, in the first half. Alabama trying to push this lead farther. It's 10-0 right now. So as I mentioned, coming on the live stream, it was going to be mainly an Alabama-Auburn live stream game, but I was going to be jumping back and forth between the other games with playoff implications. If this game does get a little bit out of hand, there's a good chance in the second half I might be switching over to another game with playoff implications, which would probably be the SMU-Cal game. Cal's actually scored a touchdown to take the lead on SMU 10-7 in the second quarter. Tulane's up big 21-0 on Charlotte, and Virginia up 14-0 at the half on Virginia Tech. The other games with playoff implications, keeping an eye on. 1st and goal here for Alabama at the 3. Simpson looking, finds Isaiah Horton, touchdown Crimson Tide. The second hookup to Isaiah Horton tonight, this one from 3, and it's 16-0 with the extra point pending. Extra point try on the way up, and it is good, and it is 17-0 Alabama over Auburn. 11:28 remaining in the second quarter. Auburn having their way in the Iron Bowl right now. This has been utter domination by the Crimson Tide in the first half. Total yardage advantage 159-23. Time of possession advantage of almost 10 minutes. Auburn in this first half has only held the ball for 4 minutes, 28 seconds. First downs are 9-1 Alabama. A very one-sided affair so far in the 2025 Iron Bowl in the first half. And again, I want to mention, in case you missed the announcement a couple minutes ago, there's a good chance, if this game gets out of hand in the second half, there's a good chance I'm going to be switching off this game and going to another game with playoff implications if there's one with a little bit that's a little bit tight and more tightly contested. So Auburn somehow, some way has to try to find some offense here. This has been a strong, strong Alabama defense tonight. Auburn defense The first 3 series, anyway, played very well, just held the Crimson Tide to a field goal. But the problem is they've been on the field for 14 of the game's first 18 minutes. So you got to figure a little bit of fatigue is setting in. So let's see if Auburn can find a way to get some offense going here. Alabama with a win will head to the SEC championship game against Georgia next week and keep their playoff hopes alive. And with 2 losses, even if Alabama wins this game with 2 losses, Alabama still may have to win that SEC title game next week. Here's the kickoff, taken at the 2-yard line, across the 10, 15, 20-yard line, looking for a seam, but can't find one anywhere, and run out of bounds at the 21-yard line. So that's where Auburn will start this next drive. Now in a 17-point hole. Ashton Daniels coming back out at quarterback for Auburn. First down and 10 at the 20. Daniels throws a screen pass left side, and this will be a gain of 5 and run out of bounds as Jeremiah Cobb. Gain of 5 on first down, second down and 5 coming up. Second and 5 for Auburn. Ball at the 25-yard line. Daniels takes the snap, and it's a handoff up the middle and up to the 29-yard line. Yard shy of a first down. It'll bring up a 3rd and short for Auburn. Third and 1 for Auburn. And it's a running play, and he's not going to get there. The Alabama defense steps up again as Cobb is stuffed for no gain. Fourth down and 1. You know, if you're Auburn, you're in a 17-point hole already. They are going to bring on the punt team. So another 3 and out for this Auburn offense. Fair catch called and made at the 32, and that's where Alabama will start this next drive. It's up 17-0 with 9:49 remaining in the second quarter. And again, the Auburn defense has to come right back out there. So back out again comes that Alabama offense. The last 2 drives have resulted in touchdowns. Simpson. And this is a handoff back it goes, the old flea flicker play, but it was incomplete. And Simpson took a shot. Alabama tried a little trickery with the flea flicker there. Yeah, Simpson took a pretty good shot at the end of that. Second down and 10 at the 33. And it's a handoff on second down, and this will be a gain of 4 yards on second down for Jam Miller. And setting up third down and 6. This is a must-stop third down right here for Auburn. Two for 6 on third down conversions tonight are the Crimson Tide. Simpson takes the snap. Simpson looking. Simpson pressured. Simpson sacked. That's a stop that Auburn desperately needed. Xavier Atkins picks up the sack for Auburn, and the Auburn defense this time forces Alabama to a 3-and-out. And the punt is not a good one at all. That punt is going to go out of bounds. They're going to mark this thing right at about midfield. So Auburn catches a break there on a bad punt with outstanding starting field position. With only about half the field to work with. Down 17-0. Cal has put up another touchdown on SMU. Cal now leads that game 17-7 in the second quarter. Again, SMU with a win will punch their ticket to the ACC championship game. Virginia still leading Virginia Tech 14-0. That game underway in the third quarter. Tulane 21-0 on Charlotte. That's the other games with college football playoff implications taking place right now. Just got something on my X feed on the Lane Kiffin news, but I don't know if this is accurate or not, so I'm not going to. I don't think this is accurate, so I'm going to hold off on that. So Auburn here down 17 points, but with a great opportunity here off a bad punt from Alabama. They are starting this drive at the 49-yard line, so it was only a 24-yard punt from Dowd. Daniels just 4 for 11 for 17 yards in this first half for Auburn. An Auburn team that has managed just 31 total yards in the first half. So we will have a rematch in the SEC championship game regardless. An Alabama win here, they will go against Georgia. Alabama defeated Georgia in the regular season matchup. If Auburn would come back, it would be Georgia and Ole Miss. Ole Miss's only loss of the season was to Georgia. Daniel's going to throw this deep on first down, and it is almost intercepted and incomplete. Cam Coleman was the intended receiver, but he was covered well, and it was almost a pick. It's 2nd down and 10. Handoff on 2nd down. It's going to be good for about 3 yards, maybe 4. The carry for Jeremiah Cobb. 3rd down coming up for Auburn. 3rd and 7. Daniels on 3rd down. Pass is caught, but that's going to be short of the 1st down. They may give forward progress to the 44, but that's still going to be 3 yards short. Probably going to go for it at this stage. You're on the plus side of the field, and Auburn does keep the offense out on 4th and 4. Alabama showing blitz. Daniels takes the snap. Daniels looking. Daniels will have to take it himself. Gets to the 1st down marker down the right sideline and out of bounds at the 25-yard line. That play looked like it was going to end up short of the 1st down, but Daniel finds some room on the right side and gets the Auburn 1st down at the 25 of Alabama. Daniels, here's a handoff on 1st down, a big hole. Inside the 15 to the 12-yard line goes Jeremiah Cobb. And Auburn's best offensive series of the night is 12 yards, 13 yards away from their first score of the night. Here's a handoff. Nope, it's a keeper for Daniels. Daniels will be brought down at the 9 for a gain of 4, bringing up 2nd down and 6. Under 6 minutes left in the 2nd quarter. Auburn already has more yards this drive than they had in the first half total. Came into this drive with 31 yards of offense. They already have 42 on this drive. I think they're going to review for a possible targeting here. They're checking for a possible targeting here on Alabama here. It would be Cam Calhoun. They're checking to see if there was some targeting. This very well could be. Calhoun came in with the helmet. Got to get the call right now. And we do have targeting, so Cam Calhoun is going to have to sit out the rest of this one. So Cam Calhoun disqualified for targeting. Now, the good news for Calhoun, it happened in the first half, so he will be eligible for the entire SEC championship game if Alabama gets there. He is disqualified, however, for the remainder of this one. That'll also move it half the distance, so that will put the football at the 5. 1st and goal, Auburn. Daniels looking. Daniels in the end zone, out of bounds. It'll be 2nd and goal. It's intended for Coleman, but he was covered well. 2nd and goal to 5. Daniels on the keeper. Daniels will get to maybe the 3. 3rd and goal coming up. Third and goal for Auburn. Daniels being pressure. Daniels rolling right. Daniels out of bounds around the 2. So now it will be 4th down. What do you do here? If you're Coach DJ Durkin, you've pretty much got to give me 3 points. You just want to give yourself on the scoreboard, feel a little bit better. And they are going to bring on the field goal unit. Alex McPherson on to attempt a short field goal. It's almost an extra point, 21 yards. It's on the far hash. And we have flags that fly. So that will make it a 26-yard field goal attempt as the flag is on Auburn. This to get Auburn on the scoreboard for the first time tonight. Kick is up, and the kick is straight through, and the Tigers do get points. To get on the board, 17-3 Alabama, 4:06 remaining in the second quarter. Ten-play, 43-yard drive that took 4 minutes, 19 seconds. Alex McPherson, 26-yard field goal to get the Auburn Tigers on the board. If Auburn can get a stop here to get the ball back, Auburn will get the football to start the second half. Here's the kickoff. And it will be a touchback, and that will bring the football out to the 25-yard line. So back comes Ty Simpson and that Alabama offense. Up 17-3, 4:06 to play second quarter. First down for the Tide at the 25. Simpson takes the snap. And we have a timeout called by Alabama before the snap. So that's Alabama's last timeout here in the first half. They had to use 2 in that first quarter. So Alabama out of timeouts. Auburn has 1 remaining. First down at the 25. There's a snap. And it's a handoff once again to Miller, and Miller up to the 27-yard line, minimal gain of a couple yards for Jam Miller. Second and 8 from the 27. Miller again, this time is held for a yard, maybe two. Third down and medium coming up for Alabama. And can Auburn get another stop and get the football back with a chance to put more points on the board before the half? Two for 7 tonight on third down conversions for Alabama. They need 6 here. Simpson. Blitz coming. Simpson gets rid of it at the last possible minute. Was hit as he threw, and it's incomplete. And Alabama goes 3 and out for the second straight drive. So Auburn will get it back here. 1 timeout left plus the 2-minute timeout. Fielded at the 18 on the punt, across the 25 and down at the 27-yard line. 9 yards on the punt return. And Auburn with 2:40 remaining in the second quarter gets it back, down 17-3. First down for Auburn at the 27. Daniels' throw is incomplete. Eric Singleton Jr., the intended receiver, but it was a pretty good hit there defensively for Alabama by Keon Sabb. Second down and 10. Daniels will take it himself and run out of bounds around the 34-yard line. That'll be a gain of 7. Setting up a third and manageable 3rd and 3. Third down 3. Auburn does not have to snap it for the 2-minute timeout, but they do. Daniels with an open receiver. This is a first down for Auburn into Alabama territory and pushed out of bounds around the 48-yard line. Reception for the tight end, Brandon Frazier. And that'll be a first down for Auburn as we are going to hit the 2-minute timeout. Two minutes to play here in the second quarter. Auburn threatening for more points here before the break. Down 17-3, but looking for a 2-for-1, looking for some more points here before halftime, and they will get the ball out of halftime to start the second half. Keeping an eye on those other games. with playoff implications. Cal driving again. They already lead SMU 17-7, and they have drove the football inside the SMU 30. So SMU in trouble out in Berkeley. Tulane and Virginia having no problems tonight. Do want to mention at the half, I do have to take care of something real quick at halftime. So at halftime, I will be briefly pausing the live stream, but I will be back right before the second half of this one to run down some first half stats and get you ready for the second half. In a game that sees Alabama ahead of Auburn 17-3 in the Iron Bowl. But Auburn has drove it again into Alabama territory. What is interesting is this is not an ideal scenario for the ACC, what is happening in SMU Cal right now. SMU, of course, with a win, would be in the ACC championship game. If SMU loses this game, you have opened the door for Duke to get into the ACC championship game with a 7-5 record. If Duke ends up in the ACC championship game and would win the ACC championship, ACC very well may be left out of the playoff entirely. That would open the door possibly for a second group of 5 team. James Madison, does that open the door for them? We'll see. Open receiver and another drop out of the 2-minute timeout. That is about the third drop tonight from Singleton. That pass was right on the money. That is about the 4th or 5th drop pass by an Auburn receiver tonight. Singleton has about 2 or 3 of them single-handedly himself. 2nd and 10. Daniels will keep it. Daniels with a good gainer inside the 40 to the 39. Daniels picks up 7, setting up a manageable 3rd and 3. Third and 3, clock running, minute and a half. Daniels takes the shotgun snap. Daniels will keep it himself again. Daniels will get the first down inside the 35 to the 33. So we're under 2 minutes, so the clock will stop momentarily to set the chains. You have an Auburn player or an Alabama player down. That's Red Morgan, sophomore defensive back. So Auburn looking to get back in this game here. going to the half. Red Morgan is headed to the locker room for Alabama. He is going over there under his own power. First down, Auburn at the 33. Daniels takes the snap. Daniels throws and short to his intended receiver, Singleton, but that pass missed him. Second down. Singleton was about 3 or 4 yards deeper downfield than Daniels thought he was going to be. Second and 10 at the 33. Daniels looking. Daniels rolling right. Flag comes in and pass is caught. This is an Auburn touchdown, but we're going to check the flag. Daniels is saying it's against Alabama. If this stands, it's a 33-yard touchdown pass to Malcolm Simmons. But it's illegal formation against Auburn, so it will not. So take the touchdown off the board. And make it 2nd and 15 with 54 seconds. Daniels on the keeper will get up to the 33-yard line. Clock running. Inside of 40 seconds. 3rd and 11. As they marked him down at the 34. Daniels keeps it himself again and will get up to the 26-yard line. And Auburn's going to let this tick down, you would think, and bring on the field goal unit. Auburn does have one timeout left, and they're going to call it right here with 2 seconds. So Auburn going to try to get 3 more here before the intermission. Alex McPherson will come on. He hit from 21 yards. His last attempt, this one will be from 26 yards, excuse me, because there was that penalty. This one will be from 43 to cut the deficit to 11 heading to the locker room. Kick is up, and McPherson will put it through, and Auburn adds 3 as we go to the break. 17-6 lead for Alabama, and Auburn will get the football coming out of halftime, so a chance to go 2 for 1 as they got the points at the half, and we'll try to get some more coming out of halftime. 17-6, the halftime lead for the Crimson Tide over the Tigers here in the Iron Bowl. Again, I'm going to pause here briefly this live stream for a few minutes, and I will be back with you just prior to the second half. Run down some first half stats and get you ready for the final 30 minutes of the Iron Bowl. 17-6 currently Alabama leading Auburn at the break.